Hey everybody, and welcome back to my channel. I am Tinesha Davis. This is the Fun and Budget Act, where we talk about a fun life balanced with a responsible budget, okay? In this video, we are gonna chat a little bit about my mortgage update journey and where am I now. And let me tell you guys before we get into the numbers, I'm going to try to make that part really quick, even though that's what you might want to see. But let me tell you something. This month, this is September, right? And I have a target for my mortgage. Right now, I'm on track to pay my mortgage off in the next 8 years, even though I wish it could be paid off now. And my greatest of greatest hopes is that it doesn't take 8 more years. But 8 years is a comfortable pace for me so that I can still live a fulfilling life and, like, you know, just do the most as I like to do. So that target that I have to try to hit every month is $2,000. Some months I actually hit that. Some months I actually pay more than an additional $2,000. And some months, like this month, I pay less because things pop up, not emergencies. I have an emergency account, or a abundant extra cushiony savings account, as I like to call it. But even from my early 20s, I have gotten into the practice of not using my savings account unless I absolutely have to. So a lot of times the money just sits there, even though I put money into that account for so-called emergencies. So this month, I made a few extra purchases that were not budgeted. And of course, we will see this when we talk about our September budget review. But basically, like right now, yeah, if we listen, well, you can't hear it. I'm having my house power washed. So that is $400 that was not in this budget for this month. But I was like, you know what? He's available to do it now. Let's get it done now because I wanted to have the house cleaned, because clean makes me happy. And so I had to, boom, readjust my budget to put in $400 extra. Also, I started planning another vacation for next year. And for that vacation, I put down $1,200. Guys, between this additional $400 and then the additional $1,200, and then let me think, was Hawaii in the budget? I don't even remember. Hawaii might have already been in the budget. But what this meant was I had to dip into that $2,000 that I reserved for my mortgage, the extra money that I was going to put on my mortgage this month. And right now I'm about $500 into borrowing from that $2,000. So right now we're at $1,500, perhaps, maybe, because it is only, what is it? Today is September 12th. And, you know, I already borrowed about $500 from my mortgage. And I had to really think about, how do I really feel about that? A lot of you who watch this channel know that I believe in the law of attraction. And I actually mindfully practice the art of attracting what I want into my life. And a lot of you know, and for those of you who don't know, I also do a daily gratitude practice with some of my closest friends. And I've been doing this for a good 4 years. And actually, it's my mindset to just go into rampages of appreciation at any point in time throughout the day, every day. So when I was thinking about the fact that, okay, girl, you borrowing from your mortgage, how do you feel? I just really had to give myself, I was like, you know what? I'm just happy that I'm abundant enough that I can actually send an additional $2,000 or even $1,000 in 1 month extra to my mortgage, on top of paying all my other bills. And mind you, my mortgage is not a little baby mortgage. It's already $3,100 a month. So I'm just happy that I can actually swing numbers like these. And I have been disciplined enough for the past 2 years that for the most part, I send a hefty chunk of money to my mortgage. So I could not be mad at that if 1 month or 2 months or 3 months or heck, 6 months, I fall short of this goal that I made up in my own head. I appreciated the fact that I am doing with my money things that bring me joy and make me absolutely happy. Y'all, I love traveling. And I don't know. Well, I guess it's cool. I was going to say, I don't know if that makes me, because what if I said I love shoes and I'm telling you month after month that I'm sending extra money because I bought all these shoes. But you know what? It's like I've lived a very disciplined life. I sacrifice in a lot of areas. A lot of things around my home are either used or hand-me-down or just falling apart, and I don't run out to buy things all the time. But I do invest my money in travel. I'm debt-free, so I was disciplined enough to make sure that I had all of my consumer debt paid off. I have a good emergency account. I send a good portion of money to my retirement accounts. So I had to give myself this permission to say, girl, you know, you work hard. You have been disciplined. I mean, I'm talking about with education, with career goals, just all of that stuff. You can splurge on traveling, right? And so I'm giving myself all of these, you know, just these aspects of appreciation for my life and for this life that I built and for all of the fortune that I do have and for all of the wonderful things that I was able to cash flow this month, to include banging on 3 more vacations and just dreaming out loud. And then I'm talking to another girlfriend and the opportunity for another vacation came up and we were dreaming about that. And I'm like, well, girl, I can't do that this month just yet because I'm already tapping into my mortgage fund. So then I wrote down on a piece of paper, I said, you know what would be so cool? If I manifested an extra $1,600 this month. And that was a specific amount because it had something to do with the vacation that I just put money down on. And basically I wanted to recoup the money that I was putting down on this vacation times 2. So that's how I came up with $1,600. And I said, that would just be so dope. What if I just bring in extra income this month for that $1,600? What if I even start bringing in travel perks that can go towards these vacations and offset the vacations themselves, and it just adds up to $1,600? So for me, I wanted to manifest a combination of extra income plus travel perks to equal the total of $1,600, and I just felt super good about that. And then I said, and if I do it within a month or whatever, I can then pay back this money that I borrowed from my mortgage pay down fund, and all is well with the world. And that's what I put out there, and I don't know, it just made me happy. Just the idea of just attracting extra money into my life out of the sky. And I mean, there's just so many pieces to this. This also popped up because I was also contemplating the thought that a lot of people create out of need, crisis, or desperation. You know, if you're about to lose your car, suddenly your manifestation skills put on some muscle. You get your prayers in order, and then you come back and you can give the testimony, this was about to happen or that was about to happen, and then boom, I was blessed, right? Well, guess what? I don't want to ever create out of crisis or desperation or hardship. That's not my life. But at the same time, I still want to create from that, from an energy. I still want to create. I just don't want to create from the energy of desperation and crisis. So I was contemplating these things. And I said, well, let's just create from a space of fun. And then that's when I came up with the $1,600 exercise. Like, wouldn't it be nice if I manifested an additional $1,600? Not because I need it. My bills are going to be paid. I'm still going to be sending about an extra $1,000 or more to my mortgage. I'm still going to be going on these amazing vacations. So not because I need it, but just because I want it. Just because I desire it. Can't that be enough? Right? And this was at 9 o'clock this morning that I wrote this down on a piece of paper. And then I was going to build my whole entire gratitude list around this feeling of this appreciation and then this fun game of creating from this space of fun. Not desperation or crisis. Very important, right? Because we don't want to keep manifesting desperation and crisis into our lives just so that we can see God show up. God doesn't have to show up in that space. God shows up whenever you ask. Without resistance, and when you believe, that's when he shows up, right? So that was that. Then I went out to my car to make some phone calls, and when I went out there, I noticed on my phone that I received an email from my company at 10 a.m., about an hour after I made this whole declaration. And in that email, it said, you are receiving a $1,500 bonus. And it will be in your September 20th paycheck. And basically it was because you received a good pat on your back. Literally. Nothing in writing, nothing, not a certificate, not an award, but just oh, hey, good job. And for that good job, a good job that materializes from thin air, words from a mouth, my company is giving me $1,500. And it was funny. I called my friend and I said, you know what? I thought it was going to take me a month. That's what I was feeling. It was going to take me a month to manifest this $1,600. I didn't know I was going to do it in an hour. And so I just say that. And guess what? So guys, I thought that I was going to name my September budget didn't make my financial goals or didn't meet my financial goals. With this bonus, I'm back on track with my financial goals, y'all. Even though I spent all the money having all of the fun, all of the future fun, and I thought I was borrowing from my mortgage account is replenished. I hope that made sense. It was even relevant. But let's talk about these numbers, guys. So we're going to make this quick because the last time I talked to you was in June. And in June, I had owed $398,544 on this home. Then in July, I paid my monthly mortgage payment of $3,085. From that, some of the money goes to my escrow account. And then $1,287 went to principal. And $1,079 went to interest. I sent an additional principal payment of $2,914. Then in August, I made my monthly payment of $3,085. And of that, $1,298 went to principal, while $1,068 went to the interest. And then I sent an additional payment of $3,058. In September, I made my $3,085 mortgage payment. From that, $1,310 went to principal, while $1,056 went to interest. And then I made an additional mortgage payment to my principal for $2,528. And this brings our home mortgage down. What I still owe my mortgage, we now are at $386,142. And I just want to say one more thing about the principal. The principle of that story, the moral of that story that I was telling before was have fun. Be easy with it. None of this, your goals, your whatever, and your whatever. It's just not that serious. At the end of the day, it will all work out. Especially if you align your thoughts with your words, and this raises your energy of your life, and that's where manifestations come from. And that's what I try to practice all the time. So I hope that story was a good example of that. And this just happened today. So let's take a look at this Excel spreadsheet. Now, guys, with this Excel spreadsheet, there has been some talk like, well, as we see at the top of this, hold on, let me get this recorder going. Okay, so we see that at the top of the screen, because I got this document from another person's YouTube video. And then it was said that, okay, this document doesn't belong to them. And as we see right here, we see who the author of this is, all rights reserved. And we see that you can go to jrsays.com, right? And then you can see that there's also another link right here that says, click here if you want your own copy. And so when I clicked there for my own copy, it actually just brought up a copy of this spreadsheet without me having to buy anything or pay anything. And none of this even alludes to having to pay for it. So I just want to say that I did not create this spreadsheet. jrsays.com create this spreadsheet. And again, if you go and click on this, guys, because I get a lot of emails, but the instructions are in the description box. Plus, it says right here, get your own copy. Click here. So you can do that, okay? So right now, what I do is I took out the $2,000 amount, the $2,000 amounts that I had pre-populated in here so that we can put the new amounts in this video. So as it stands right now, I will have my mortgage paid off with these additional payments on May 1st, 2027, as opposed to December 1st, 2041. Now, let's go here and let's plug in the numbers of the additional mortgage payments that I have made. So I said that in July, I made an additional payment of $29.14. And it's some change too, but I'm just going to leave it like this because I always have to readjust it at the end just to make these numbers match perfectly to what I owe right now. Because this isn't a perfect science. This chart isn't from my bank, obviously. All right, so in August, I made an additional mortgage payment of $30.58. And once I plug these numbers in, this chart does the math and recalculates everything to where we are now. And then in September, I made an additional payment of $25.28. Okay? So where I should be is $386.142. So that's pretty close. That's about $10 off. Let's see. All right, that's good enough. So now I'm going to scroll down to the bottom of this chart and readjust the numbers at the bottom. Because like I said, I pre-populated my expected extra payments. So right here, we know that that's too much. We know that that's too much. And this is too much. All right, there we have it. But you know what? We can do a stretch goal and say, what if we pay $28, $30, $60 for that last payment right there? And that brings us to 0. And so this will have us paying off the mortgage in March of 2027. And we would have saved $135,804 on our mortgage and interest. And as we stand right now, the loan is going to be reduced by 177 months. And of course, this is what it will all look like if I stay on course and actually Make the payments according to plan of at least $2,000 a month, and on the months that I get paid 3 times in a month, $5,000 in a month. But we can also see that if we look up here that there have been months where I've made more than that payment, and then there's also been months where I've made less than that $2,000 payment because life happens and the money was applied elsewhere in lieu of me dipping into my savings account. So that's where we are. Thank you all for watching. Thank you for subscribing, and thank you for hearing me out, all of my thoughts. And until the next video, y'all, where I think I'm going to take you back to Vegas. I think I'm going to work on some Vegas footage. So until the next video, peace.